It shows you that this inheritance shows you that the language that they were speaking right here would have been a corrupted Hebrew, all right? Because remember, they were already going off in the land of Israel. They were already going off and going against the Heavenly Father and worshiping other idols, and they adopted these ways and customs as their own. This is why they would not have the pure language as yet. It wasn't given unto them, but the writings that they had was pure, which is the ancient or Paleo Hebrew script. It was very much pure, but the translation was not. As the point, the translation of it, as they were corrupted, was not. But let's continue, because it was very much recorded in the Christopher Columbus. I will get it right, literally right. The 2 pages is two pages away. I'll just read it after, but I'll have it there. The same Christopher Columbus. Oh gosh, I forget the name. And the Christopher Columbus and the participation of something. I'm trying to remember the name. So long. Anyways, let's go into it. Let's continue. It says, and read, upon hearing her words, they rose, says, went over to Montezino, and to his utter astonishment said, Shammai, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, but I will say it in this tongue. I say Shema, Yisrael, Adoni, Eloheno, I believe, Adoni Ehad, which, when I go into the ancient Paleo Hebrew, which they spoke before, it would have been Shemai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ahad, which is, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power is one power. They had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism, right? Which goes back to what? Judah. So, one may ask this question. How would they have known what the Shemai was if they were indigenous to the land, for those who don't believe in this history? If they were already indigenous to the land of the West and were never part of the East, which many Christians like to utter, how would they know what the Shemai is to utter it, which is part of the commandments in Deuteronomy 6 and verses 4 to 5? How would they know what the Shemai is, which is also recorded in scriptures, which is also was given to what? Israelites, was part of the covenant, was only given unto them, because again, and we did this before, but let me get the precept so you could really hone in and understand what this is, what it means. This is the Shema right here, right? Here, O Israel, Yahweh our power is one power. This is Deuteronomy 6 and verses 4. Now remember, Scripture has made it very clear that what? Deuteronomy 4 verses 5 and 6 says, Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power had commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. It says, Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all the statutes and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So if it was only given unto them, as very much clear mention, how did these people, these indigenous people in that land, as claimed by y'all to be found only in that land, know the Shemai? There's only one way to answer this. If it was only given to the children of Israel and it have not been passed down to anyone else, then it would be by definition and understanding that you have to get it from the descendants of Israel only. It's a custom and a law and a tradition from Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, the Heavenly Father, onto the children of Israel. So if it was only given unto them, I got a precept before you continue, because I know people can talk some shit just now. So let me get the precept. Make sure it's clear, very much evident, right? Psalms 147 and verses 19 and 20. It says, we read in both translations, King James Version and NLT. It says, he showed his words unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Who he showed it unto? Unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. It says, he had not dealt so with any nation, and for his judgments they have not known them. Praise Yahweh. NLT. He has revealed his words to Jacob, his decrees and regulations to who? Israel. One of his words was the Shema. He has not done this for any other nation. He has not, one more time, he has not done this for any other nation. So if he has not done this for any other nation, how would these tribes in the Americas that was found able to utter the Shema if they were indigenous to the land itself alone? This is why it shows that ChatGPT, as well as many of these heathens, are very much biased. There's no answer you can give here aside from they came from the lineage of the children of Israel, which we mentioned and showed their voyages taking place in 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40 to 45 or 48, which is exactly what Christopher Columbus would have used to find them, which he mentioned in his very much book before, which we then made very much clear mention that is this his actual words or is it not? And it confirmed it that it was, which we'll grab again. This is the book. This book exists and represent. Does this book exist and represent Columbus' words? Yes. The story of Columbus, as he told it himself, the book is a real published book, and it represents Columbus's words drawn from his letters, journals, and writings. So, understand where we're coming from now? And many of the scholars and archaeologists and people who epigraphers that chose to bring this information out are no longer mainstream. But it shows that it's a bold fact that these things happen. But the people who bring it out are no longer mainstream. And only mainstream people now were rejecting this fact. And we bring out 7, I believe 7. It was supposed to be 8, but we kind of reduced one because the main ones are the 7, which were epigraphers, archaeologists, and scholars. They doing their due diligent research, providing information, and confirming that these are the actual people that spoke the Hebrews, the indigenous, which were pre-Columbus period. It wasn't after, it was pre. And Columbus confirms it with his books. These books are records of the history that took place because he himself wrote it and had it in his diary. But you know what? Nah, that know what happened. That's what I'm going to say. Nah, I talking ish. That know what happened. But it's showing it happen here. It's showing you it happened here. So what are you going to say now? What are you going to say now? How much time are you going to say we lie before you prove yourself? I'll show you the... look at how I operate. I'll show you the foolish information that I was bringing out and questioning it. To show you that I'm not being biased. I'll show you the information that they were bringing out. And then I'll show you the truth. Look at how this information now trumps that one. What are you going to say? Something else? What else are you going to say? Christopher Columbus, in his very words, proved that this is what he used to go into that voyage, and he went. And he wrote what he did. As mentioned very much clear here. We read the books of Christopher Columbus, then we read the book of another individual also, which the Shema was uttered. Also. And the Shema is only exclusive to the children of Israel by seed line. Yet, your claims usually are They are indigenous to this land and unto the lost 10 tribes. But they are uttering the Shema, which is a Hebrew Israelite custom. Confusion. Yahweh Hashem is trying to out of confusion. Somebody's lying, somebody's telling the truth. As far as I can see, I haven't written any of these things. I'm just bringing out the information. So I'm not lying. Again, I'm not lying. I'm connecting the dots. I'm not lying. Well, let me continue. Now let's go into the next book. Did you finish read this? Let me finish read it first. And then we'll go to the next one. It says, they had recited in Hebrew the fundamental creed of Judaism. It says a brief conversation that ensued in their common and ancestral tongue, according to Montezinos, who fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader of his narrative as is that of his three mysterious new companions. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben. Hear it, of Reuben, and the tribe of Joseph lived on the islands nearby. Isn't Reuben and Joseph a part of the northern kingdom? What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? You don't say we lying already. What are you going to say now? Let's continue. The day when they were at last to issue forth into the world was coming soon. It says they explained, but in the meantime they could not allow visitors to cross over to them. They were willing to make an exception to the near future, however, on account of their need for education. For though they spoke Hebrew, they would not read or write it. Would Montezino send them 12 boarding men to be their teacher? He said he would. The 4 strangers returned to their canoes, paddled back across to the river, and disappeared from view. Francisco told Montezino all that he knew about these people from his own tradition, which is his ancestors, to their eternal shame, had indeed made a war on them and persecuted them. See, only the sorcerers of his tribe had perceived that they were a special people unto himself above all people from the face of the earth. Deuteronomy 7:6, and had given warning that they would be left alone. It says the power of God, the God of these children of Israel, is the true God. They had said, and everything inscribed on their tablets is true. At the end of the days, they will be lords of all the nations of the earth. This was promised. Deuteronomy 7 and verses 6. This is direct. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So what he says is going to happen? That we are going to be lords over all the people of the face of the earth. So in other words, they're just going through the afflictions in this time, and he recognizes that. So he has also confirmed that these people, and they that they themselves have confirmed it, that they are what? The northern kingdom, the lost tribes of the children of Israel. Notice, this is not my words, I'm just bringing it out, and it's going according to precept upon precept at the same time. Historical accuracy that matches biblical standpoints. Very simple. On to the next one. Shalom.